do remember a few years back running my life in a very busy manner, running after the next shiny object, so to call. And I may was after emotional responses or certain emotional appeals. I may was after money or a better relationship or a better health, state of health. But ultimately, I ran my mind. I ran my mind in a very busy way. And you may be somebody that can relate to seeing yourself walking through life and pretty much hassling after the next shiny object, hassling after a better career, hassling after a more lucrative financial compensation. Or you may be after certain emotions, wanting to feel more happy or more fulfilled or loved. It doesn't really matter. Both, on either sides, we both are after something. And I was one of those people, not being able to get out of my mind, and because of that, feeling left and right quite exhausted as I walked through life. And a profound experience really allowed me to looking up on life in a very different light for the first time in my life. And suddenly I found myself in a world that is utterly still and in silence. And my mind pretty much disintegrated or vanished. So you can imagine that, to feel like that your little voices that you hear every moment of life, that they suddenly disappeared and said goodbye. And that was incredibly scary in the beginning for various of reasons. But what it left me with is just this utter peace and utter sense of stillness and silence within that allows me to really follow my heart and follow what I'm meant to do and follow my gut instinct without the mind getting in the way. And that is a big challenge for many people. How do you know what your true, authentic nature is? We often find ourselves in trying to discover who we truly are, and that cannot be discovered as we try to intellectualize life and trying to outthink life itself. What has to happen is we have to get out of our minds and drop into that which is us, into silence itself. And what I want to talk about today is the idea of how do we create silence? How do we actually create an environment during our day which is a practical approach for us to get out of our mind if we feel it becomes a little bit busy up there. And some people are aware about their thoughts and some people are not. If you are not yet aware about your thoughts, well, we have to work on a way to do that, because as you know, if we are caught up in shit, we only see shit, right? And if you are right now somebody that is observing partially or fully your thoughts, you actually elevate it to your perspective of consciousness and awareness to a higher level, because suddenly you rise beyond thought and you look upon it. And that actually is consciousness or awareness looking upon the mind, the ego mind. And you have the chance to observe and to witness that. And then the next step is to slowly diminish that, and eventually it either partially or fully drops away. And that's quite incredible. It truly is a life worth living. But the way silence works, and Eastern philosophy and Western philosophy speaks about us meditating, speaks about us making consciously time in our environment, in our life, to find that spot within that allows us to just settle in again, allows us to drop into that peace and enjoy that we truly want to experience in life. And I would love to propose, I'd love to share and invite you to look upon a different perspective upon the way I experience life today on a every moment basis. And the way I experience life nowadays is by me walking through life, by me washing the dishes, by me going to work, by me recording the video, by me doing everything that I usually would do. But I do that in a meditative state, and in that state you have always silence, or there's a clarity around what you're doing, because you just allowed your mind to drop away. So the way I would love to propose, you find silence within and that stillness within. If you're finding yourself in a moment in life in which you are quite exhausted and busy, not just because you're physically running around, but because your mind is just racing like a headless chicken. Right? I would ask you, I would love you to just stop for a moment. I would love you just to stop for a moment and to start breathing again. And it's really quite beautiful just to take a slow inhale through your nose and out through your mouth. And you can do that for 10, 20, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, and just to consciously breathe again and to really be with the breath in that specific moment. To then again observe your thoughts and observe your minds and really discover what's actually happening up there. And once you sit with that, and we do not do anything about it, we just observe it. We just become aware about the thoughts you are running. And what I would love to ask you to do then is to just again become aware through your senses, through sight, through you listening to beautiful birds, through you hearing a beautiful ocean clashing against the shore, and for you seeing birds soaring through the sky, for you smelling beautiful roses or herbs, for you touching surfaces. Just really again experience life through all your senses, and by doing that, really being with it. Now, even right now, you watching this video can be meditative, and you already can find the silence within by you not listening to my words, but by you actually connecting to who you are, by you connecting to what's right now unfolding before your very eyes. And you actually can listen to that silence, that gap, which allows you to just drop into that meditative state. So the message for today really is about not consciously making time to meditate. And yes, that's a great step and you can do that. But what happens though is, for me, and this is all experiential what I'm sharing with you, is you actually you separate from life again, because you make time consciously to go somewhere or to do it in your home. And you may find yourself in peace and enjoy while you're doing it. But what actually happens when you are finishing off that meditation and when you re-engage in life? How do you feel then? How are you able to work through challenging moments when the kids are crying, when the work is stressful and busy, when the supermarkets are crazy packed? And that is then when the rubber hits the road. And this is why I say, let's learn how to integrate a way of living that is so conscious, that allows you to truly express yourself and experience life in every moment as it unfolds. And yes, it is a practice. Yes, it is quite an advanced way of living, that is true, but it doesn't mean that you cannot do it. It means that you can try and see the importance of being again, living again in a conscious way, and that to me is where mastery unfolds.